Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the country's biggest stars and some of my favourite people. And we got two of them for you today. Britain's Got Talent has made many stars, but they're coming together in Liverpool's world-famous Empire Theatre on February 11th, 2018 for Britain's Got Talent, the big celebration to celebrate the recovery of Mersey Girls. Julia, she had an operation and they're doing this event to raise money for Alderhay Hospital. And I'm delighted to say that Richard and Adam will be there and they join us on the phone now. How are you, boys?
Yeah, very well, thanks, very well. We're extremely looking forward to the event and excited to meet some of the Britain's Got Talent people again. We've crossed their path over the years, so it'll be nice to see everyone all together.
I was talking to Lucy Kay just now, who's going to be on the bill, and I'd say the same to her as I say to you. It's interesting how some are quickly forgotten and some are remembered and create a name for themselves. You've really managed to do that, and I think the gimmick of the brothers really helped, didn't it? Because people immediately recognise you and identify with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're extremely lucky, really, that we both sing in the same family, and I've got the high voice and Adam's got the lower voice. It's funny, when we were saying the other day, when we go out on our own, we're basically unrecognised. You live a normal life. And when we go out together, it's like people can straight away see your brothers. And then as soon as they see that connection, they go, don't I recognise you from Britain's Got Talent? Obviously, sometimes people say, do I know your dad? Or do I know? I'm like, no, we were on Britain's Got Talent. They go, oh, sorry, that was it. But yeah, it's been an absolutely amazing 5 years. We've done 4 albums, every single one's been a classical #1 and every single one in the top 10. We've done multiple tours and some amazing venues like the London Palladium. We did the Olympic Stadium with Little Mix in year 1. It's just some crazy stuff that you don't expect, and I guess that's the sort of joys to being on a show like Britain's Got Talent. It does showcase your talent and give you an amazing platform to really live what you want to do in your entertainment industry.
I just had my stats through last year for the most popular people on my website, and #1, believe it or not, is Jonathan Antoine from Britain's Got Talent. Again,
amazing.
The power that you guys have as classical artists, they're all in the top 10 classical people, whether it's you, Andrea Bocelli, whether it's Russell Watson, Alfie Boe. People love classical artists. I can't quite put my finger on why, but the audiences are incredibly dedicated, aren't they?
It's unbelievable. I mean, in this day and age now, we're so sort of into pop culture and pop music. It's so huge, but there is somehow still a market there for classical music. And I mean, if you look at the age range of sort of the people there, a lot of them, we're not extremely old people. We're sort of middle-aged, younger people, and that shows that there's still an audience out there for it at all ranges, not just the older market, which is sort of stereotyped into classical music. It is becoming a much broader thing because I think the music stood the test of time. People have been singing classical longer than any other music. I mean, Caruso was the first sort of ever artist to sell records, and he was a classical operatic tenor. So it's sort of started with the origins, really, of classical music, and it's gone on from there. So I think there'll always be a market for it.
And again, that feeling of the ovation by the time you get to the crescendo and you build and build and build, that's what we're waiting for, and that's what you guys, like the Il Divos of the world, do so beautifully, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. It's something we look out for when we're looking for songs and things like that. You always try and make it finish big, which after you've done that for about 20 songs can be a bit taxing by the end. You have to have a bit of a voice rest, but it's amazing. Me and Adam often say to each other, we're doing set lists and we put it together, and when we look down the list and we think, oh God, we've really set the bar here vocally, haven't we? And he's like, yeah, but you can't take anything out. We get to that point where we're like, we can't swap anything because we like all the songs too much.
Yeah. So
we just go for it, and being two of us does make it a little bit easier, but obviously when we're singing some of it in harmony as well, we're still singing 90% of the song.
Obviously, as human beings, you're not going to have trouble connecting because you're brothers, but at the same time, musically, it seems like the voices have never sounded stronger. We've spoken for every album you've released, and every time you knock it out the park and the punters love it. I mean, it's a gift, that, isn't it, to not only have human connection, but vocal connection as well.
It is funny, because a lot of people say when we've done shows, they say to us that you've got something that a lot of people don't have, and that's the sort of relation in being brothers, and it comes across in your voice, because although Adam's a low voice and I'm a higher voice, the tone of sort of the sound of each other is still there, and that's why it blends so well in harmony. And we've had that feedback so many times, and when we're on stage, we don't have to speak if something is like we're thinking of doing something, like we're thinking about, bringing something in or singing it out or straightening it or using vibrato or whatever. It's weird. We just have a look and we know. And we talk about it sometimes. I said to him on that song when we were on stage then, you look to me and I look to you. It's weird, isn't it, that we just know to just do the same thing.
Oh, and
it's bizarre. It's really bizarre, but it plays so well for us on stage because it's so natural.
And then this gig coming up on the 11th of February, the Britain's Got Talent, the big celebration at the Empire Theatre in Liverpool. It's in aid of the Alder Hey Hospital. Beautiful cause and an amazing bill, whether it be Susan Boyle or whether it be Ashley and Sully. I mean, they're all on there. Do you still pinch yourself when you're stood in the wings with those type of people? Because you're all stars in your own right and you're all equal because you all came from the same place.
Yeah, I mean, when we sort of all together from Britain's Got Talent, we've sort of been saying, to ourselves privately that why don't they do a huge Britain's Got Talent show? It doesn't seem to have happened for some reason. And I mean, I know they're only doing it at Liverpool Empire for an amazing cause, and that's fantastic. But they could easily take it further, and keep it going and make more money for charity and do so much more with it. I mean, all the acts are totally on board because it's celebrating Britain's Got Talent. And I think each and every one of us all appreciate what it's done for us, and that's why we're all involved. And obviously to have a charity on board as well, and a show like this can raise so much more money than any of us can on our own.
The business model of Britain's Got Talent and X Factor works on after the last year. You forget about the last year and you move on to next year. That's the problem, isn't it? It's that they've got to keep this year relevant.
You're totally not wrong. It's all about promoting yourself after your first year and keeping it going and things like that. But it just shows you that if they do something like this, the impact it can have. And the thing is like you say, instead of everybody thinking of it as a conveyor belt, it turns into people focusing on actually the talent and not sort of the shelf life. Yeah, and that's what it should be all about. And we're all out there and we're all singing and performing and dancing or whatever it may be, and all doing our best to keep the career going that we absolutely love. And I think this show for Britain's Got Talent is sort of a good chance for everybody that comes along to see that actually, wow, over the last 10-15 years the talent's still alive.
Yeah, and what a beautiful celebration. Julia, of course, had the story with the Mersey Girls where she needed this operation and Simon paid for it. This is really her big comeback, and it's going to be a feel-good evening, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the Mersey Girls, a big reason why we got involved with this show, first of all, the first time I heard of it, is I got married in October, and my wife's actually a dance teacher, and she has worked with them before on shows, the Mersey Girls, and she knows some of them personally. And when it came up, I said to her, God, wouldn't it be fantastic if we could be involved? And she speaks to them on Facebook all the time and things like that. She's always involved in the dance world and what's going on. So it was just a complete perfect fit for me. I couldn't believe it. From knowing sort of the girls and working with them, and then working as well with Britain's Got Talent and things, it's just a complete package for us to be involved. So we are 110% behind it, and my wife will be there watching and supporting not only us but the girls as well, obviously.
Fantastic. It looks like a wonderful evening of entertainment. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't get a bigger bill than what they've got. Calabro, Susan Boyle, Ashley and Sully, magician Lance Corporal Richard Jones will be there, Attraction will be there, and of course Richard and Adam will be raising the roof with that amazing sound that they create together. That unity you have between you both is so beautiful, and we wish you all the best. Let's talk again, and good luck with all your projects in 2018. You can see them live at the Liverpool Empire Theatre on February the 11th for the big celebration by Britain's Got Talent. Great to talk to you, Richard.
Thank you very much indeed. You take care.